Hi everyone, today we're on site here at another net zero home in Calgary, Alberta. And today we're on site during our insulation install of our Dense Pack Cellulose. For our double wall system here, we have two different installations that we can do. One is to fill the voids with Fiberglass Batts. The other is using a more superior product called Dense Pack Cellulose. Our installation process of the Dense Pack Cellulose is entirely different from doing fiberglass batts. Fiberglass batts show up in a bag of insulation. They're all pre-cut. You stuff them into a stud bay and you're complete. The Dense Pack Cellulose is very labor intensive. So to install the Dense Pack Cellulose, before we even start installing the insulation, we have to put on a net to net off the wall, and then that's what allows us to fill up the wall. So we cut up from the bottom to the top, we cut about 3 or 4 holes, and they installed the Dense Pack through that. And with that process, there's a large truck outside that has a compressor and a hose with a guy that's stuffing the machine with the insulation. It comes through a hose all the way upstairs to where the installer is that's directing it into the wall system. So one of the challenges we have with Dense Pack Cellulose is that there can be a lot of installer error with it. The installer needs to have experience knowing how much to put into the wall system and making sure you get the right density. So for our wall system here, we have a 10-inch cavity from the back of the wall sheathing to the face of the stud. If you were doing a 6-inch wall cavity, like a normal 2x6 stud, you'd be looking for around 3.5 pounds per cubic foot. So for our wall system here, we're 10 inches thick. We're looking for 4 pounds per cubic foot for this wall. Now, obviously you can press on the wall with your hand to test how firm it is just by touch. But if you truly want to know exactly how, we have a special tool here called the TrueFill Density Cylinder Test. What was it called? Oh my God. How am I supposed to get all this stuff right? TrueFill Density Test Cylinder. Okay, so basically it's really not much different than a drill bit other than you're turning it with your hand. You're going nice and slowly back, trying to get a nice consistent core sample out of here. And you're gonna go all the way back to the wall. Okay, there I've bottom out. So then I'll kind of just slowly bring it slowly back. We've got our sample here filled up, and then we've got our scale here. So I'll just turn this thing on here. Okay. And okay, so right now we're at 1,894 grams. So grab my calculator out here. We got 1,894 grams divided by 454, which is the conversion to get to pounds. And that has us right up at 4.17 pounds per cubic foot. So we're just over what we want to be. I think that's a beautiful spot to be at. A bit more than a bit less. So that spot right there is done beautifully. So with our Dense Pack Cellulose, you're getting an R4 per inch versus fiberglass batts, you're getting about an R3.5. So definitely getting a bit more insulation in the wall than what you're getting with a fiberglass bat. And then there's some other key differences that are hard to see, that are impossible to model, but are definitely there. So when you're filling up a Dense Pack Cellulose cavity, you're basically making a custom fit bat for that cavity, call it. Because when that insulation goes in there, it fills every nook and cranny perfectly. Bat insulation comes in with a bag versus fiberglass bat. Do you want me to find out what that is? Versus a fiberglass bat, it is a terrific product and it is very cost effective, but that bat is made for a specific stud base size. So if that stud is bowed, it's that guy there. it's coming through the hose. That's where the sound's coming from. Okay, I had that one going there.
Yeah.
So if the stud is bowed, you can get a little bit of gappage there. We can't grow that stud. The Dense Pack has a benefit in that it will fill that stud bay. The other great benefit of Dense Pack Cellulose is that when you are filling that stud cavity, it fills the entire thing. So for example, if you got to go around a pipe, if you got to go around a wire or an electrical box, when you fill up that void, it fills every nook and cranny around that. Versus when they are installing a bat of insulation, they're taking a knife and they're cutting around and they're probably doing a really great job of it, but it's not nearly as perfect as a Dense Pack Cellulose install. And what's great about that is that the more we minimize those larger air gaps within the wall system, the more we minimize the convection current that can partake in the wall system. And when hot is meeting cold, our insulation becomes less useful. So by having that stud bay completely filled, tight pack with 4 pounds per square foot of Dense Pack Cellulose, it's a beautiful thing. So one issue that we can have with our Dense Pack Cellulose installation is that we don't get the density that we're looking for here, which is 4 pounds per cubic foot. If we don't get that, our wall system isn't as filled as the manufacturer is speccing it to be, which means that if we don't have enough insulation in there, there is the potential that it can settle over time. And that is the number one concern when it comes to Dense Pack Cellulose. There is installer error that can happen. You want to make sure you've got a really experienced installer doing it. You want to make sure that you've got the right density. The tool here, the TrueFill Density Test cylinder, will show you that as well. So at this point in our process, we have our rim joist spray foamed. We've got the Dense Pack Cellulose installed in the walls. So at this point, we have all the insulation in this house, but now what's lacking is our air and vapor barrier. What we have right here, that's just a netting. That's not going to do any good for our air vapor barrier. So the next step here is that we're going to be installing a premium product called Intello Plus membrane. It's a smart membrane. It goes on the wall just like 6mm poly does that you'd see in a standard house. Except this membrane here is a smart membrane in that if the wall system gets the relative humidity too high, it'll actually breathe inwards into your house. It's just another layer of protection from any sort of increased moisture in your wall system and allowing your wall system to dry out. When we come back here, we're going to show you guys the Intello Plus membrane. We're going to show you guys how we're going to air seal this membrane with all the different tapes in this house. It's not just going to be with our typical acoustic and Siga tape. It's going to have tape on every single joint as well as the acoustic. It's going to be a beautiful finish, very high-end finish. We're going to have the blower door going. We're going to show you how airtight this house is, so stay tuned for that. It's the floor drill. Today I just want to go back through and obviously hit the areas that you talked about there, and then we've got a mile of tape in here, so I'm looking to take my time in here, so hopefully that's okay there with you. So
that works.
So on our last video here, we showed you guys the Dense Pack Cellulose installation that we got behind here. So now we've come back, we've installed our air and vapor barrier, and we're using this Intello Plus membrane here. We kind of have the ability to dry both inwards and outwards if that wall cavity gets wet. So we just ran our first test, which is we used it depressurizing the house, meaning we were blowing air into the house, which means that the air leaks are blowing out of the house. Why we do that is because we can pressurize the house up to 50 pascals of pressure, pushing air outwards. But because we only have our poly membrane stapled on, if we were to depressurize the house so air is coming inwards, we would pull the poly off the wall because it's only hanging on by staples. So now we're going to flip it around and we're going to depressurize the house. But we're only going to pressurize it to maybe 20 or 30 pascals.
Yeah, right around there. Yep.
And that's going to allow the air to come in. We can feel the air leaks a lot easier that way. We can find the air leaks a lot easier that way, but it's not so pressurized that it's going to pull the poly off the wall.
And then it'll change slightly when we input it into the software, because that'll account for the air temperature as well. But this gets us in the right ballpark.
So yeah, so we ran the test first by pressurizing the house, and we are sitting right around 0.8 air exchange per hour. So pretty good to start off with. But our end goal here is to get to 0.6 or better. So we're gonna flip this thing around, pressurize the house, and see what we can find. I don't know if I can feel much coming through there, but we're gonna fill it anyways here. Hey, Clayton.
Yes.
You don't have a smoke pen, do you?
We can use this guy.
What's that? Oh, here, Randy, come over here. So you can see, do you see that? Watch the smoke here. So you can see the smoke wants to go away. Like it's not falling in. I don't know if you were able to see that at all. But we got a pretty good gap here, so how are we looking down there?
Yeah, I mean, trying to search for those tiny little spots finding a few spots there. So
Okay.
oh.
I don't know if I might have got this one here. Well, this house has a ton of tape in it. Tape in every single seam in this place is definitely a lot of extra effort, but I think it's going to be well worth it.
I mean, one thing, could do less cable penetrations, like do more individual ones. Because
Yeah.
between the wires, it's hard to seal.
Very
So, yeah.
much so, right? The double wire that's a hard one.
Yeah, but it's, more singular penetrations. Because otherwise you get a little bit, tiny bit between the cables themselves. But
Well, I can't feel anything. It's a lot easier if there's a temperature differential, but we don't have much of that here today. But one of the challenging parts with our tape is where tape collides with our finishing. So we got our window here, and where this profile on the window comes out to this flat here, this is where the finish carpenter is going to nail in his finished MDF jam. And any of this tape that sticks out past, you're going to see it. And then we got unfinished tape sticking out into our, so when you do tape these, you got to make sure you're not taping too far. So a bit of finesse needed there.
Starting in Saskatchewan, but builders here will hire insulators. Unless you're a customer, they're like, absolutely. Builders here hire gravel companies.
Okay, so what do we end up on there?
Right, dropped about just 0.1 kind of thing. Down to right
So
about
0.7.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully we tighten up here by 0.1, 0.2 when the drywall goes on.
0.5 at final is about what I would estimate.
Okay, so the insulator's guaranteed me 0.5 here.
Just slap the guarantee on it. Yeah.
Yeah, lower door pre-board is complete. We ended up with our 0.7 air exchange pre-board, so really hoping that after we put the board on, we get down to a 0.5 air exchange. And just for comparison, our city benchmark here in Calgary is a 2.5 air exchange. Really not a tough benchmark to beat, but we are 5 times better than that. Hopefully at the end, we're very close to that here at this point. So stay tuned for that. And thanks for tuning in. Okay,